Now that I've unboxed it, I'm just going to show you how to operate the EZShade. Now this has got to be the most affordable way of getting consistent and precise shade matchings in your practice without ever having to do expensive redos on any of your constructions, and also allowing everyone in your practice the ability to match a shade perfectly, so you don't have to be there all the time. You can actually start delegating that kind of work. And you can see it just sits in its cradle and charges the whole day long. And that there is the little calibration block. It's just a magnet. So I'm just going to show you how. First I'm just going to switch it off so I can show you the calibration procedure. So to do that, you would just use the keys there and then back. Just until I get to the off button highlighted on there. And click OK, so you can see it's off now. So the first thing I want to do, you can see there, is just hit the middle button. There you go, switches it on and it tells you it wants to calibrate it. So what you do is you just get the calibration block out. You can see it's a magnet, stick it on there and press the start button and it tells you to hold still and tells you calibration is complete. So just take that, put it back. After it's calibrated, it comes up and asks you which shade guide standard you want to use. There's V29, V16, I16 and I20. So I'm just going to leave it with the Vita V29 3D guide at the moment. And yeah, I've got an intraoral camera with two shades on it. One is sort of slightly greyish and one is whitish. So the way to measure it, just hold it against as flush as you can against whatever surface it is that you want to measure. Like that, press the start button. I first have to choose, sorry. Okay. Once you've selected you want the V29, you've got to click OK. It comes up with two modes. One is a single measuring point, and the other one is to get a 3-point average. So the 3-point average is if you want to measure the top, bottom, and the middle of the tooth to get an average across all three sections. The single point is if you just want to get a certain shade of the tooth in the middle, like for tooth whitening, for example. So choose the one you want. I'm just going to go with the single point for now. And now it's ready, asking me to actually hold it against whatever it is that I want to sample the shade of. So once again, use this with a slightly grey and slightly white. So you just hold it as flush as you can against whatever surface it is that you want to measure. And you'll see it lights up for about a second or so. And that's it. You can see it's measured that value as 1 and 2. And I'm just going to go to the grey side now. Once again, hold it as flush as you can against there. You'll hear a slight audible sound to tell you that it has actually done this measurement. You see that one is now R2.5. We can measure something even more white than that. See what value we get from this. And yeah, see what we got there. 5 and 2, so that's even more white. Now, it's also got a 30 memory section, so you can remember, you can view the memory and flip through the values that you've gotten. I'm just going to flip back now and choose the 3-point average. See, there I am. I'm going to choose 3-point average. Go OK. So now you see it's got 3 little dots in the middle of the tooth. I don't know if that's visible. But what I'm going to do, for example, is just take, say, 2 of these grey measurements and 1 of the white on the other side. Oh, there we go. 1, 2, and then 1 of the white. And see, 2 are 2.5 there. Now what I've got is a slightly grey little gadget here. I'm going to take 2 of those samples. 1, 2, and 1 of the white. after I get it done, and you see that shade now has got its 5.2, so it's got a 3-point average of those. And that's really how simple it is. So every single time you've got a consistent shade measurement. Now I'm just going to show you if you want to use it with your own teeth. It comes with a whole box full of these little sheets, these sheets here. So what you're going to do is just insert that point into the sheet like that, and tear away all these little gadgets, all the little extra pieces of the sheet. So, you want to, for the actual sheath to sit tight against that. The sheath is slightly malformed. I'm just going to go for another one. You have to make sure that that the sheath is perfect and stretches tight across across the actual point of the sensor, so that it doesn't interfere with the light. That's better. I'll put the other one here now. Take care of all these little gadgets. And what it's got as well is a little hook there. So you can just stretch that and make sure that it stretches and hooks onto that little hook there, so that the front is tight across there. Now probably it's not a bad idea to actually calibrate it with the sheath on, so that you know it is calibrated and is taking that sheath into account while calibrating. So once again, stick the sheath on there, like so. Click start, and it says calibrated, and press start, and it's calibrating, and I'm making a slight audible sound. So now it means that it's actually calibrated. Once again, I'm going to choose V29 and just single point. So the way to do it is just hold it against your teeth, like so. Makes a slight audible point, and you can see that's the shade of my tooth there, 3N1. And obviously for 3-point tooth measurement, you're just going to go select that on here and hold it first at the root, the base of the tooth in the middle, and then the end part, and it'll give you the 3-point average on that. So this is really, as I say, the way to get consistent shade matching in your practice without having to rely on you or the main guy that does shade matching. Thank you very much for watching, and just give me a call if you want to know more about it, if you want to get a quote.